Hi, everybody. Last week we spent some time with the New England colonies, with Massachusetts Bay, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And this week we're going to move south to the next set of colonies, which is referred to as the Middle Colonies. The Middle Colonies are going to share some similarities with the New England colonies, but there will also be some differences as well. So, as we're going through this, I want you to be thinking about what is similar, what is different. Okay. First of all, if you take a look here, you'll see listed the four middle colonies: New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. So this is going to hit home a little bit more for us, and we should be able to make a lot of good connections as we go through, being that we live in Pennsylvania. Okay, let's start with the big boy, New York. New York was originally New Netherlands, and it will eventually become New York. But it was originally a settlement of the Dutch, and it was set up along the Hudson River. To encourage settlement, Dutch officials granted large land areas to a few rich families. The guy in charge was named Old Silver Nails. His name was Peter Stuyvesant, and his nickname was Old Silver Nails. He was a really tough guy. He lost his leg in a battle in the Caribbean. His wooden leg that he had replacing his leg that was missing was covered with silver nails, hence the nickname Old Silver Nails. But while the Dutch are in charge, they allowed Catholics, Lutherans, Jews, etc., everybody into New Netherlands. And this attracted people from all over because of the fact that they were accepting of really anybody. New Netherlands, like we said, is eventually going to become New York. Um, because of the opportunity to practice religion freely, people were coming from everywhere. They actually built a wall protecting themselves from British invasion early on and possibly pirates. That wall is now known as Wall Street. Wall Street is located where that wall originally was on the southern tip of Manhattan. So you can see here diversity of religion, ethnicity, and beliefs is extremely prevalent in New Amsterdam, which is eventually going to become New York. And that still holds true today. I think New York City is probably the most diverse place on the face of the earth. But what eventually is going to happen, guys, is England is just surrounds the Dutch settlement in New York, and just kind of swallows it up. And they're going to take control of New Amsterdam. Um, but they allow the Dutch to continue living in New Amsterdam. So they're just living under now what is an English flag. King Charles II gives New Netherlands to his brother, the Duke of York, and they rename the colony New York in his honor. So that's where New York gets its name. Now, originally, New Jersey was a part of New York, but the Duke of York realizes the area is just kind of too big to be governed easily, so he gives a portion to some friends, and they end up calling that New Jersey. In 1702, it becomes a royal colony which protected the religious freedom of its citizens. Okay, so we have New York and New Jersey. Now we move on to our home state of Pennsylvania. So William Penn is given land by his personal friend, King Charles II, to repay a debt that was owed to William's father. So King Charles II names the new land Pennsylvania, which means Penn's Woods. So William Penn becomes a Quaker. Quakers were persecuted in England as well as in New England by the Puritans that we had just talked about last week. Some of the things that make up a Quaker: all people, men and women, nobles and commoners, are equal in God's sight. Women could preach in public. They refused to bow or remove hats in the presence of nobility. They spoke out against war and refused to serve in the army. Okay, they banned slavery. So in Pennsylvania, slavery was never legal. Their worship consisted of waiting in silence until the inner night light led members to share with their brethren. So at a Quakers meeting, as they would call it, people would just sit in silence and quiet, and then somebody would just stand up when they felt moved to share something. They also believed in the fair treatment of Native Americans, which led to years of peace with Native Americans. Pennsylvania is going to begin to grow. William Penn sends pamphlets about Pennsylvania all throughout Europe. Settlers are going to come from England, Scotland, Wales, Holland, France, Germany, and begin settling in Pennsylvania. Becomes a center for German-speaking Protestants, known as the Pennsylvania Dutch, which would be our Amish and our Mennonites today. Penn creates the capital city of Philadelphia, a Greek word which means brotherly love. Philadelphia quickly grows along with New York, and they become the center of diversity in the entire colonies because both cities are so accepting, and both colonies, I should say, are so accepting of everybody, whether they have a different ethnicity, religion, etc. Now, Delaware began as a part of Pennsylvania, but it eventually broke away to form its own colony. So there we have the four colonies: New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, that make up the middle colonies. Now, life in the middle colonies, there was rich and fertile soil. So they had a lot of cash crops such as wheat, barley, and rye. And the middle colonies earned the nickname the breadbasket colonies. Winters were much milder than in New England, and farmers raised herds of cattle, pigs, and with all the Germans coming over. Sorry, my daughter's over there making noise. But anyway, they had skilled German craftsmen, good at building hardware, clocks, watches, locks, guns, flints, etc. So Pennsylvania and the surrounding area also became known for their skilled craftsmanship. The housing in Pennsylvania shows diversity. There's large homes and farms rather than towns. The Swedish settlers brought the idea of log cabins. Dutch settlers brought red bricks, narrow and high-walled houses. And the German settlers brought with them the wood-burning stove that heated the home better than a fireplace. So farming is an integral part, but industry is as well. So you see some similarities with the idea of religion is important as well, similarity to the New England colonies, but much different is the fact that they have an economy that revolves around farming, and they're welcome to every type of religion and ethnicity, whereas in New England, it's a little bit more strict in terms of just being a Puritan in the beginning. So hopefully as we go through that, hopefully you're able to pick up some more similarities and maybe some more differences. And you want to say hi? Yeah, say hi. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good week. As always, email me with any questions, concerns that you have. And we're almost there, guys, gals. We have about 2 more weeks after this. So let's get the middle colonies done. And then from there, we'll move into the southern colonies, which again will have some similarities to the middle colonies and to the New England colonies, but will also be very different as well. So again, contact me if you need me. Have a good week. Stay safe, and I will talk to you all soon.